Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to make a simple but fun pair of earrings using these patches that we got in our SoftFlex Company's design kit, Dia de los Muertes. Now this kit was for the Great Bead Extravaganza, but it's fun. So let's turn down and I'll show you what I'm planning on doing to make these. Here are our patches. Now I've got 2 pieces of gunmetal filigree and I'm going to glue these onto here with some E6000. Now we could sew these on as well if we wish to. I'm just going to glue them for right now, see how they do. If they do fine, then we won't need to do any sewing, but if they seem like they're not going to, we will actually, let's get that done. I'm going to get out my silicone mat. I always use this silicone mat for painting, and for gluing I don't have to worry about it getting on my regular mat that way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take some E6000. Now this tube is about empty, and that's fine. Should have enough of what I need. So all we're going to do is we're going to take our patch and we're going to put the glue directly on the patch, and then we're going to smear it up to the edges and such. And since this glue is almost gone, I'm not really worried about it getting on the tip so much, so that's why I said we could just smear it. If your glue is a full tube or whatever, you probably would be better off to use a Q-tip or not a Q-tip, but a toothpick to settle it in better. Now if that looks like it's going to pull off, I will get some of my, and it does look like it might, I'm going to get some of my little clothespins that I use for my hair barrettes and such, and we will pin it down. So put the glue everywhere, all the way to the edges here, and in the middle. There we go. Flip this onto here. Now since I do have a little bit of glue left, I am going to take a paper towel and wipe the tip off some so I don't have to worry about it sticking so much. So and we'll close that up. So now, like I said, it's not wanting to stay down really well, so we're going to take some of our little clothespins that I used for putting my hair barrettes together and such, and we're going to just take our clothespins and we're going to go around. And I'm probably going to put like, oop, didn't mean to do that, about, at least 4 or 5 here so it will hold down good. Maybe even up to a half a dozen. We'll see. Looks like we got 5. So like I say, if you wish, you can always take and sew this on your filigree, because most filigrees have plenty of holes, which this one obviously does have, to sew through. So there we go. Now we just have to let these dry for a little while before we can go on. But what I am going to do is I'm going to use this point up here at the top and this one down at the bottom. This one, they're both free from their clips. And the one at the top, I'm going to put the ear wire on, and this one, I'm going to put one of the bead strands. Then I'm going to put another bead strand here and here. So these bead strands, let's put these aside, that I'm going to make, we're going to do a black, a washer spacer, one of the greens, I can't remember if this is exactly how I wanted to do it or not. I know I had 3 greens in the middle one and 2 greens in the sides. Well, I know the sides I had from my design, how I figured it, was a green one, washer spacer, black one, washer spacer, green one, washer spacer, black one. So we'll have these on either side, and then we will have I'm thinking I had this the opposite way with the green, black, green again. Green, black, green, middle strand, and then we'll have another like this for the other side. So, and the middle one is more or less the same as the outer ones. The difference is that we've got one more green bead up at the top. So there are our bead strands. Here's our ear wires. We have some jump rings for our ear wires. Now we have a choice. We can jump ring these onto our chandelier once it dries enough, or we can just hardwire them on. So if we're going to hardwire them on, we're going to have to be careful since we now have the wet glue. We now have wet glue on our our chandelier pieces. Now I've chosen these colors out of the kit, even though they had also had orange and another green and purple beads as well, the crystal style. I've chosen these because I think they match the oops, not you. I think they match the little patch best. I appear to have an extra washer spacer, unless I didn't put one somewhere. No, they're there. Nope, everyone has one. Looks like I have just have an extra. So, better an extra than not enough. So we are going to start the wrap on these, and that's simply just, we're going to bend them over, then we'll do our loop, and then we have to make that decision whether we're going to hook them directly to the chandelier, or if we are going to use a jump ring. So we've done our bends. Now I'm going to do our wrap around this direction. So we're going to make a loop like so. And to do that, of course, we're just putting our bell making pliers. You can use round nose pliers, up and around and over. Drop it down, bring it over, check to see if it's in the proper shape. Now I just bent that. I can see that I bent the head, so we're going to straighten that up. It's pretty straightened. So that's for the one earring. Now, a lot of times I don't want to jump ring things together if I can help it, because, of course, you have now an extra opening place with your jump ring. If you put them directly on, they're not going to come off. In order to get them off, you're going to have to cut them off because they're wired straight in. So that becomes the choice of whether we want to do it that way or not. Now, of course, if you jump ring them in, that also adds that extra length that you wouldn't have with them wired directly in. So we have to make that decision pretty soon, because we have these hooked here. And if I'm going to do that, and I want these to dry a little bit more, I'm going to have to move my pins a little bit, because the long one will go here, the two short ones will go over here. So it would be long one in here. I didn't leave a gap in these, so I'm going to have to, there we go. Long one would go here, and that went under the pin there. So it would go like so, and I think we're going to have to hardwire them to make them look best. And then, like I say, the short ones would go here and here, and then directly across the long is where we're going to hook our ear wire on. So since this has got the pins in it still, so they're going to be a little bit awkward. Actually, I'll just take this one off and we'll put it back on after we get this wrapped up. So we'll get this one wrapped up. Get out of the way, baby. Cut this off. Oh, I don't think I have that wrapped all the way. I don't. Because it rolled that direction, the beads rolled that direction too, and I would have left a gap in my beads. That I had enough wire to cover, so I didn't need to do that. So here is our first one on. Its loop is heading a little bit crooked, so we're going to straighten that up some. And there we go. There's number one on this one. Now we can put the other two on, and then I'll put a pin back. See, it's starting to pull up a little bit here. We do need our pin back in, it looks like. We may need even a little bit more glue. Or I may need to do what I said and stitch it down into place. We will decide that after I get these done. Because by all rights, it should be sticking enough that I didn't need the pins anymore at this point, because it's been a few minutes. So let's get this one on. Come on, baby. There we go. And then we'll put the other one on here. Now, if you wanted more, if you had a filigree that you had more holes in, you could put more dangles on if you wanted. I just decided on 3. I could have done 5, or, well, no, I couldn't have. I only have a few green beads left. So I wouldn't have enough beads to do that, but now that slid a little bit because that pin got in the way, so I just put it back into place. Cut that off and tuck this one in. So there is dangle number 2. And I could always change my mind if I chose to and put some more dangles in here because there is room. Come on, go on. Come on. There we go. I have to wrap this one up. So once we get this one wrapped up, the 3 dangles will be in place, and we can decide then if we figure we need some more, something more in here, which I could put like, if you need something more than your beads, you can always put like a piece of chain if you think that would look good, or something like that. Maybe even a tiny charm or something to put in the middle. That might be cute, actually. Stop it. If you have a charm that you think would work in here well. Now, even though this is more like a Halloween style kit, or Dia de los Muertes, as the case may be. You could put any charm in here that you actually like. Say you wanted like a star, or a little heart or something. You could put that in there. There's no reason not to if that's what you want. Okay, you're falling crooked. So it looks like sort of like this. And I'm going to pull the other pins off and see how she's sticking here. This one could have been sticking better, but looks like a little shield now. So because this is the middle one, we want to go straight up to this one for our ear wire, because our ear wire is facing a different direction than this piece here. We need 2 jump rings to have it hang properly. Now, if you didn't mind them hanging to the side, 1 would be plenty. but I like mine hanging forward. One of the reasons for that is that I have long hair and it looks better hanging to the forward side than to the side. If you had short hair, to the side would be all right. But. So now this glue is still wet, and if you needed to, see all the holes in here? You could put some more glue through the back part to finish that off, to make it be a little bit more. Make sure you get your ear wire going the right way here. There we go. This one is finished, unless I decide, oh, it needs a little something, and I decide to put like a little piece of chain or something hanging down here. Or sew the shield on a little better, since it does appear to be pulling up right here. And like I said, you can go through your filigree up to your, and back and forth, because there is a lot of little holes in the filigree, so you could do that with no problem. So there is our first one. Now let's get our second one down here, and we'll pull its pins off. And I don't think I'm going to put the pins back on. Not sure it would do any good, other than if I put a little more glue right here, and then because it doesn't seem to have it. See how it's pulling loose here? I might put a little more glue in there and then put a pin right there, just to hold that a little better. But we'll see in a minute. In the meantime, we're going to pull the pins off this second one and get it put together here. So let's see how she's doing. Now see, this one doesn't seem to have any pull-up spots that are pulling up like this one does over here. So I could just put a little teeny bit more glue on this one. And to do that, I could take it and turn it over and push the glue through this filigree hole right here. Here, I'll show you what I mean. We'll just do it. So we have the spot that's bagging is right here, see? So we'll just take our glue and go right through this hole right here. Just push it. And again, I think over here and here. And so we have glue there now. That wasn't sticking there good before. Now we'll take our pin and we'll put it right where we put the glue in, so it will hold it down some, and that should fix this one where it's not quite sticking down the way it should. Now if I wanted, I could find like some seed beads also and put along down in here. That would make a cute little accompaniment to this. So, but anyway, let's get these guys on. They're not quite open. I didn't leave openings, so I'm just gonna open it just a hair's breadth. And it doesn't matter which one you go into first, as long as it's one of these, so that the opposite side has room to go. So we'll put that together, bring our wires together, and we will wrap this up. So once we've got this one on, we'll put the other two on, and then put the ear wire on, and then it's time to make that decision. Do we think it needs anything more? And if we do, if we decide it does, what are we going to put on for the extra stuff? So snap that. Go. So there's the first one, and again this wire is bending just a hair's breadth, so we'll straighten it up. And I think I may have pulled it too far, but there we go. There's number one. Now we'll just go and put these other two on into these big loops here. Now if we'd wanted it closer, we could have put it in this loop, and that would have made it closer. Now I love filigree pieces because I use them for most of my hair breadths and such, but you can use them for other things too. You can put them in the earrings like I'm doing here. You can use them, I've got some heavier ones that I sometimes use in necklaces. I actually have two necklaces designed, or one necklace anyway, that has some of the heavier filigree in it, and I need to make that necklace. Okay, there's number two. That is leaning a little to the back. Now we just need to put our third one on here and our ear wire on. And if we decide that that's all we want, then it would be done. But we can, if we want, like I said, decide to add something else. Some chain, a charm, some seed beads, a seed beads bead dangle, whatever our decision is. Come on, you slid down some, so I'm going to put well, I'm going to just use my finger now. Maybe not, doesn't want to. So sometimes if it slides, just need to move it back into place somewhat. Sometimes you doesn't want to, and you sort of need to convince it, like I'm going to in just a minute here. But I'm going to take this off. Now, the thing is, when I push this in, it's going to push those wires up some, but I have to be careful because I don't want to break my beads. They're glass. So there we go. And there is this one, other than, I think this wire is crooked. It is. Other than the top. Ooh, that's still crooked. What did you do to it? Okay. It's leaning backwards, so we gotta get in here and just straighten it up. And it doesn't look like it's tucked all the way either. There we go. Okay. I think that's better. Oop. Now, surprisingly enough, they're not really heavy. Because the filigree is light, and of course the emblem piece is light, so go straight across, so right here. Now watch and see that you're putting your ear wire on the proper direction. There's number 2. I decided to get some white seed beads out and see what this would look like if I put just a little seed bead, straight white seed bead dangle down the middle. Now I'm going with the white because these emblems have the white in the middle of them. So straighten out these pins some. And we'll just put some beads on, some of the white beads on these pins, and we'll just put them there and compare. See whether we like this, the seed beads on there, the seed bead dangle, as opposed to no seed bead dangle. So let's just put some seed beads. Now you can put dividers, spacers in these if you want to. Personally, I prefer a spacer in them, but we'll see what I decide to do. First, I want to just see if I like them in here. So, like so. At about the same length. Yeah. Actually, I think I do like those in there. But if I'm going to put those in, I'm going to get some ball spacers. And every like third seed bead, I'm going to put a ball spacer, one of these antique silver ball spacers in. So we'll do like this. And a ball spacer. 1, 2, 3, ball spacer, and 1, 2, and 3. Now that we've added 2 more beads, let's see if it's going to be too long at that length. Well, remember, it's going to hang down some because of the wire, and then it's going to be the same length as this, so it is going to be too long. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the top and bottom one out, so it's just 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, as far as our beads are concerned. Put it like this. And I think I'm going to like that. So we'll take the beads off. Put a ball spacer. Come on, baby. Put 3 on. A ball spacer. And the other 2. Now, is this the same length? Because these are not, you know, my Yukis are one of those that all stays the same size. They're going to be slightly different lengths, but I think this is going to be good enough. So we'll need to put these on, and then I'm going to do the same on the other one. So let's get these bent and wrapped, and they'll go in. I think we're going to put them in. I was going to put them in this one, but I'm thinking maybe the upper one, because it's going to fall down to the bottom down there anyway, so that will make it, I think, hang in a better spot. So up and around and over, bring her down, bring her around, lollipop, leave a little gap. Up and around and over, lollipop, leave a little gap, and we'll start sliding these on and see how it ends up looking. I think it's going to be cute with these white seed bead pieces in here. So, see, now that's a little close. It looks a little close to its buddy there, but of course it's not wrapped yet, so the wire's hanging it from sliding quite right. So let's put this one in the other spot and see if we like that spot better when it hangs in place. Get your wire out of the way. Yeah, I think we're going to go for the bottom one instead of the top one. So we'll take this one back out and go in this spot. Yeah, that's going to look good. So we will get these two wrapped up in here and get the other sides made up. A little tricky with all these bits and pieces in here right now. So get that in there, get our wires put together here, and get this wrapped up. Like I said, it's a little trickier now because I've got all these extra wires and such hanging on here, and including the one for the other piece here. Where are you at? Oh, there you are. I see you. So we gotta, this isn't held together very well, and it's pulling apart right there. So we're gonna have to bring this up and get it wrapped. Trim this off, tuck it in. And we'll probably have to straighten some stuff up on it. Oh, it's not bad. I think I'm really going to like that. That looks really cute with the white seed beads in there. So we'll get hold of this side. And wrap this one up. Come on, you. I know, they're all in your way, aren't they, baby? Just push you up some. Trim this off. And tuck it in. Come on, get out of the way. So now this one is finished with the white seed beads in it. I really like the way that looks. I do like that extra bit of dangle in there. So we will get 1, 2, 3. That's enough for one, but we need one more. And we don't need so many of these. Well, I should say we need all but one more. So, oops, there's an extra one of these still out there. So we need 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then the 1, 2 spacer. And so we need 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So these can go back in the tube. Here you. You are now the one needs work done. Your own. So what we'll need is 2 more of these. 1 and 2. These black ones I got on sale because they're very bent up, but that's all right. They're unbendable, like I just did. 1, 2. Come on. 1, 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2. Bend it. Straighten this one. Now, when you get a really bad bend like that, I take my flat nose pliers and squish, because you're not going to do it with your fingers. So 1, 2, 1, bing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2. Now I think this one may be a little, no, they look about the same, so that's good. So we'll bend this one over, and then we'll get our bell making pliers, do their loop. Up and over and around. Bring her down, bring her over, make sure she's lollipop to leave a gap. So there's the first one ready to go. And now I'm going to put these on separately, not at the same time like we did last time. Of course, last time I wanted to see how it was going to look, so that's why I put them on at the same time. But they'll be easier to put on if they're not all in one spot like that. Now we put it in the bottom one, so I'm going to go in here with one of these. Now we'll have to take the pin back out when we go to put the second one in over here, because I think that pin's probably in its way. So we'll wrap this baby up. Now this is a little lesson, so to speak. When you get a design in your head, and you can always change it if it's not working out exactly how you wanted it. So there we go. That seems to be much better now. Now we'll get this second one in its spot. Because sometimes you make changes and you like it much better when those changes have been made. Now, again, there are times that you envision a change and then discover you don't like the change. Do you have to leave it the way you changed it to? No. And if you've hardwired it in already, hey, that's what your flush cutters are for. Cutting wires off that are not making you happy. So, and tuck this one in. And there we go. Now they are done again. And I really like those. Those turned out really good. I really like the addition of the seed beads that I added. And we have all the colors in the shield out down in our dangles, and they turned out very, very nicely. So there we go. There are our earrings. Now the glue for the shield does need to dry for 24 hours. E6000 is best if it dries for 24 hours. So let's see how nice those are going to be. Aren't those cute? I really like those. Anyway, we have been using beads and the little shield from our SoftFlex Company's TGBE, the Great Bead Extravaganzas, design kit for Dia de los Muertes. The shield and the green and black beads were all from that. I added the filigree and the seed beads and spacers from my stash. I think they turned out really cute. Ta-da! And I really, really like them. I hope you enjoyed making them with me. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.